Hair follicle. A hair follicle is a small cavity in the skin that produces and contains a hair shaft. Hair follicles are found all over the body, except for the soles of the feet, palms of the hands, and lips. Each hair follicle is composed of different structures, including the hair bulb, hair shaft, sebaceous gland, and erector pili muscle. The hair bulb is the base of the hair follicle, where hair growth occurs. The hair shaft is the visible part of the hair that extends beyond the skin surface. The sebaceous gland produces an oily substance called sebum, which helps to moisturize and protect the hair and skin. The erector pili muscle is a small muscle attached to the base of the hair follicle that contracts in response to cold or other stimuli, causing the hair to stand on end, known as goosebumps. Hair follicles go through 3 phases of growth: the anagen phase, active growth; the catagen phase, transitional phase; and the telogen phase, resting phase. During the catagen phase, the hair follicle shrinks and detaches from the hair shaft. Finally, during the telogen phase, the hair rests and eventually falls out, allowing a new hair to grow in its place. Structure. The structure of a hair follicle can be divided into different layers, including the epidermal sheath, dermal papilla, and hair matrix. Epidermal sheath. The epidermal sheath is the outermost layer of the hair follicle and is composed of epithelial cells that surround the hair root. It provides protection to the hair follicle and helps in the growth of the hair. Dermal papilla. The dermal papilla is a small, cone-shaped structure located at the base of the hair follicle. It is composed of specialized connective tissue and contains blood vessels that provide nutrients to the hair root. The dermal papilla also plays a vital role in hair growth by releasing growth factors that stimulate hair growth and regulate the hair cycle. Hair matrix. The hair matrix is the area located at the base of the hair follicle where hair growth occurs. It is composed of actively dividing cells that produce new hair cells, which are then pushed upward, forming the hair shaft. The hair matrix also contains pigment-producing cells called melanocytes, which determine the hair color. In addition to these layers, each hair follicle is also surrounded by a network of tiny muscles, nerves, and blood vessels that provide nourishment and support to the hair. The sebaceous gland and erector pili muscle are also attached to the hair follicle, providing lubrication and contraction, respectively. The structure of the hair follicle is essential in determining hair growth and appearance, and any damage or disruption to its components can affect the health and vitality of the hair. Variation. Hair follicles can vary in size and shape, depending on their location on the body and the individual's genetic makeup. For example, hair follicles on the scalp tend to be larger and produce thicker hair shafts, while hair follicles on the arms and legs are smaller and produce finer hair. The number of hair follicles on the body also varies depending on the individual's genetics and ethnicity. People with thicker hair typically have a higher number of hair follicles per square inch of scalp compared to people with finer hair. Other factors, such as hormonal changes, age, and medical conditions, can also affect the size and shape of hair follicles. For example, during puberty, hormonal changes can cause hair follicles to become larger and produce thicker hair, while aging can cause hair follicles to shrink and produce thinner, less pigmented hair. Certain medical conditions, such as alopecia, can also cause hair follicles to shrink or become damaged, leading to hair loss. In summary, hair follicles can vary in size, shape, and number depending on a range of factors, including genetics, ethnicity, hormonal changes, age, and medical conditions. Development. Hair follicles develop during fetal development and are formed by a process called epithelial mesenchymal interactions. This process involves a complex interplay between the epithelial cells that form the outer layer of the skin and the mesenchymal cells that form the underlying connective tissue. During early fetal development, the skin is formed by a single layer of cells called the surface ectoderm. As development proceeds, the surface ectoderm thickens and invaginates, forming a structure called the hair placode. The hair placode then grows deeper into the underlying mesenchyme, forming a hair germ that eventually develops into a fully formed hair follicle. Epithelial mesenchymal interactions play a critical role in the development of hair follicles. The mesenchymal cells produce signaling molecules that instruct the epithelial cells to differentiate into hair follicle cells, while the epithelial cells secrete growth factors that stimulate the proliferation and differentiation of the mesenchymal cells. This complex signaling process helps to shape the hair follicle and determine its size, shape, and location on the body. After birth, hair follicles continue to develop and go through a series of growth cycles. The rate of hair growth and the length of the growth cycles can be influenced by a range of factors, including genetics, age, hormonal changes, and environmental factors such as stress and nutrition. Understanding the development of hair follicles is important for understanding hair growth and for developing new treatments for hair loss and other hair disorders. Aging. Aging can have a significant impact on the hair follicles, leading to changes in hair texture, color, and growth patterns. Some of the ways aging can affect hair follicles include decreased hair thickness and density. As we age, hair follicles can shrink, leading to thinner, less dense hair. This can also be influenced by hormonal changes, particularly in women after menopause. Decreased melanin production. Melanin is the pigment that gives hair its color. As we age, the hair follicles can produce less melanin, leading to gray or white hair. Slower hair growth. Aging can also slow down the rate of hair growth, resulting in shorter hair. This is because the hair growth cycle becomes shorter and less active as we age. Increased hair loss. As we age, the hair follicles can become less active and may produce fewer hairs. This can lead to increased hair shedding and thinning, particularly in men and women with a genetic predisposition to hair loss. Changes in hair texture. Some people may experience changes in hair texture as they age, with hair becoming finer, more brittle, or more prone to breakage. While some of these changes are a natural part of the aging process, other factors such as poor nutrition, stress, and certain medical conditions can also contribute to hair loss and changes in hair texture. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle, eating a balanced diet, and managing stress can help to support healthy hair follicles and promote hair growth as we age.